Tap in. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Quicksand, and this is episode 86 of Mindset Monday. Stay tapped in because today we're going to break down a chapter in the book Mind Gym, An Athlete's Guide to Inner Excellence. I've read this a couple times. I love this book. I love sharing it with athletes, so let's check it out. The chapter we're going to read today is called The Next Level, and I'll just be breaking down any of the things that I've highlighted, any things that popped out to me that gave me value, and I want to give it right back to you guys. The first quote that I see up here: "It's what you learn after you know it all that counts." And I love this quote because you're never going to know it all. You're always constantly learning. You can learn one thing today, and then you can learn something new tomorrow and the next day. Or it can even be like you learn something new today at 5 p.m. and at 7 p.m. you learn a totally new thing that you didn't know before. Okay, we're always learning. And that brings me to the phrase Kaizen. There was an American baseball coach who went over to Japan to learn about their baseball culture and learn how they improve. And he learned about the phrase Kaizen. And Kaizen means constant daily learning and improvement. So we're taking our skills to the next level day by day. What is it that you need to improve on as an athlete today that you can make better tomorrow? Okay, so that's what we're thinking about. Now, in the game of basketball, because I'm a basketball player and a basketball coach and trainer, for me, Kaizen would be working on the fundamentals every day, working on footwork, on your technique for shooting, your technique for dribbling, your technique for, let's be more specific, coming off of screens and knowing all the options, shooting off of the screen, splitting the screen, hitting the roller, hitting the pop out person, right? So there's a lot of details that go into it. You don't have to learn all that in one day or one session, but over time, learning those things day by day, studying the greats and studying how to do the footwork yourself is going to help you out a ton. So Kaizen in relation to sports, specifically basketball for me, is the small, minute details. Japanese players focus on the process of knowing themselves and improving their weaknesses, whereas Americans seem more focused on the outcome. This is about baseball. They're more focused on the home runs, the RBIs, the steals. They're focused on the championships. They're not focused on a day-to-day basis of how to get better. It's important to ask yourself these questions. What can I learn today, and how can I become better tomorrow? And when you focus on that part of the game, you get your mind focused on the present moment, on what you can control. You remove yourself and remove your ego from the situation. So now you're constantly learning, you're growing, and you're improving on an everyday basis. Learning how to learn takes work. You can learn from studying other people, as I said earlier, but also you can learn from personal experience. If I'm going out and training somebody to be better on their shooting technique, I'll record them shooting makes, shooting misses, and then we'll break the film down together. We'll look at the film in slow motion. We'll look at their hand placement. Are they getting underneath the ball? Or is their elbow out? When they follow through, are they following through straight here, or are they going to the right or left? We can break that down, see the rotation of the basketball after it comes off of their fingers. Okay, I'm just thinking of random techniques that I would study with my players together. And so it's about that. It's about how can I improve today in small techniques that are going to help me out in games or in my next session. When you think that you know it all, you're going to find that your ego is going to hold you back. Because if you think that you know everything about the game, it's going to turn around and bite you, and you're going to have to learn a hard lesson through that. Sometimes that's needed for players. Sometimes we need to fail in order for us to learn and grow and become better individuals, and also just better players in general. The coach right here says that I believe in a parachute principle. The mind is like a parachute, and it only works when it's open. If your ego is holding you back and you're closed-minded to learning new techniques, to developing your skills, then you're first of all, you're closing yourself off to greatness, to being an elite person in life. But at the same time, if you're not looking to constantly improve in your game as an athlete, the opponents who are working on those things and working on their mind and trying to figure out how they can defeat you, they're going to look at your weaknesses and they're just going to attack them. If in the game of basketball, they know you can't dribble with your left hand because you don't feel confident, you're not strong in your abilities, they're going to force you to your left. They're going to get steals. They're going to be in the passing lanes. You're just going to feel like you can't do anything. And so that's a lesson learned there. If you know that you have some weaknesses, hunt them out, watch film on them if you can, have a trainer break it down for you, go on YouTube and find different ways to improve. It's easier said than done, but if it can be said, it can be done. Okay, we just have to put in the work. It says that it's human nature to practice things we enjoy most and do well. What's tough is to go out and work hard on those things that you don't do very well. I've actually been there before, and I see a lot of players that I train be in that mindset. When I was learning how to find the seams on the basketball, which are the lines going all the way across, I couldn't figure out how to do a dribble pull up and find the seams. I just found it so difficult to get my hands quickly underneath and to figure that technique out. And so I wouldn't practice it for a while, right? And what I would do is just practice catch and shoot and just master how to find the seams quickly. And what that did for me is brought me confidence. It brought me that muscle-mind connection. And so when I mastered that first part of catch and shoot, that's when I stepped over to dribble pull-ups. And now I'm able to find the seams a lot quicker when I'm doing moves off of the dribble as opposed to before where I wasn't confident. And so, yeah, I would avoid training dribble pull-ups because of that. And so I find players nowadays where when I'm training them, they want to be, let's say, for example, they want to have a handle and finishing like Kyrie Irving, okay? But they're not willing to put in the work that it takes in order to get to that point. You don't just go out there and dribble. You have to dribble with purpose. You have to practice with purpose, practice with game intense scenarios, but you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And if your practices and training sessions are just comfortable, you're not losing the ball, you're not learning, you're not getting frustrated at certain points of the session, then you're not learning and you're just staying in your comfort zone. And that comfort zone is not going to help you out in game. You know why? Because the opponents, their goal is to obviously win. And when they want to win, they want to make you uncomfortable. They want to bring all your flaws out and they want to get you frustrated. And if any of those things happen, you lost. You lost because your mindset is not focused on the present moment. And they are focused on the present moment and bringing you down. Sometimes you have to get worse before you get better. And it takes a leap of faith to make changes and work on your weaknesses. You have to have that awareness, first of all, that you need to improve. But then also you have to go out there and have faith that this is the right thing to do, you know? And especially as a younger athlete, it's hard to kind of like channel that energy to want to go out there and get better and work on what you need to, but it needs to be done, right? I have 3 questions right here to end this video. What is it that you do well? What is it that you don't do so well? Where are the holes in your game? What is it about your game that enemies, opponents, whatever, they're trying to exploit? Okay. If you can figure out all the problems that you have within your game, you can make adjustments, get in the lab, study it, perfect whatever it is that you need to work on, and then go out, dominate, eventually get to the point where you're going to have opponents who are better and, you know, they are thinking at a different level. Then you come to a halt again, you fail, and then you learn. Be honest with yourself and be open to learning. Be accepting of your weaknesses rather than resisting. Then you have to develop your own action plan to turn your shortcomings into strengths. And there's a lot of things you can do nowadays. There's a lot of programs that trainers are putting out on skill set, on body strengthening, conditioning exercises, and then also on your mindset. Okay, so you have all the answers at your disposal. You can access them at any time. You just got to do the work. Kaizen every single day. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and share with someone who you know can benefit. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Quicksand Mindset for daily inspirational videos. And I will see you on the next episode. Tap out.